Hey guys, it's Riri from Realm of Riri, and this is my YouTube channel. That never gets old. We are back with another video. No, but seriously, your girl has been in a mental slump. When I'm in a mental slump, I know that good things are on the way. If everything is fine and all of a sudden I just have this major tower moment, I know that things are transforming, shifting. It often signifies that I'm in the middle of a major level up. Just because I know that doesn't mean that the feelings that I'm feeling aren't intense. It doesn't mean they're not real. Sometimes the process of becoming one version of yourself and leaving an old version of yourself behind, it's not easy. It leaves you in a bit of a limbo, especially maintaining a well-regulated nervous system through such an evolution, such a strong transformation. Waking up every day and choosing to be better than who you were yesterday, not linear, and not every day looks the same. Healing isn't linear, transformation isn't linear, showing up every day doesn't always look the same. There's a photo that I see on the internet all the time. This is what showing up every day looks like, and it's very reminiscent to the moon phases. The moon is always there in its full glory. It's not always seen whole. In fact, we only see the moon whole one day out of the month. See it fully cast in shadows once a month, and then we see it fully illuminated once a month. And between a new moon and a full moon, there is a series of phases that it has to go through. The moon shows up differently every single day. That is how I see the healing process. That is how I see the transformation process. For me, it is quite symbolic of the moon and its phases. While I am choosing to embark on a journey of illuminating more light in this world, wherever there is light, there has to be shadow. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to tell the difference between light and dark. Wherever there is light, there is shadow. Wherever there is beauty, there is pain. You cannot have one side of things without the other. The dichotomy of it all. Some people might see that, oh, like she's just a ray of sunshine. She just wants to illuminate light wherever she goes. Yes, and I can't do any of that if I disregarded my darker attribute. If I'm not able to acknowledge my dark night of the soul, I can't be this scroll of other things without acknowledging the things that are potentially holding me back from being that person. If I want to live in light, bitch, I have to be okay with the dark. If I want to walk around illuminating this world, it is insinuating that the world's a dark place. And just because you're choosing to live in light doesn't mean that the darkness around us or inside of us doesn't exist. I've learned that if you truly want to be someone who leaves an impact with individuals, a positive impact with individuals, probably best that you get yourself in check, that you know yourself fully. Yes, I'm good at this. These are my strengths, so on and so forth. What am I not good at? What are my weaknesses? Where do I fall short? These are all the darker things, the more intense and in-depth things that most people choose to not acknowledge. In order to be the best version of yourself, you have to acknowledge what the worst version of yourself looks like, and you have to acknowledge that you might be that person today. Granted, there might be things that have happened in your life, trauma, experiences that have made you feel validated for being exactly who the fuck you were. It might have been someone else's fault. It is your responsibility. It might have been when you were a kid. It might have been when you were a teenager. It might have been your parents. It might have been your best friend. It might have been your ex who triggered something in you, or who introduced you to something, to a feeling. They may have been the reason, but you have to be the solution. A lot of people don't want to be introspective. A lot of people don't want to be deeply reflective because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. For whatever reason, there's this illusion doing the hard work won't actually give you the results that they think lying and manipulating. They would just rather lie about those things than just actually doing the work to be that person. Couldn't be me, babes. Promise you I could show you better than I can tell you, and will every time. Might be people from my past who look at my videos or might be like, wow, Riri's so different now, like Riri has really changed, or she's exactly on the track that I always thought that she was going to be. She's exactly who she said she was going to be. There might be all these perceptions and observations and opinions that are put onto me. Some of that might have to do with how the fuck did she get from here to here? Well, babes, I can show you a big factor. What it takes to really just glow the fuck up internally and externally. Glowing up, doing better, surprising the fuck out of people is what I'm good at. Evolving, how can I outdo my fucking self? There's a lot of steps to it. However, there's one big one that most people ignore, and that is reflection. If you really want to see the beauty, babes, you gotta see the ugly. Well, how the fuck do I do that? Do I just look in the mirror and like what happens? Mirror work is actually a thing. However, that is not what we're doing today. We are going to keep it a little bit more palatable. We don't want to get too witchy woo woo on these hoes, not too quickly. Shadow work. Shadow work. Well, what is shadow work? Shadow work is probably the thing that you're avoiding. It breaks you through your own bullshit, your own narrative, your own programming that was put onto you, opinions that were projected onto you, perspectives that were projected onto you, dismantles all of that because it asks questions that really digs deep in your psyche, in your memories, in your traumas. It allows you to dismantle it, allows you to look at it, allows you to release that shit, bitch. Let it the fuck go. Double it and give it to the next fucking person. And that leaves so much space for you to take the fucking wheel and to lead you in the direction of where the fuck you want to go. You can't do that when you're piled up to your fucking neck with skeletons in your closet and secrets and stories and things and paradigms. That's just not gonna work. You can't go there with all of that. What do I do? Shadow work. For the first time ever, I'm actually going to get a shadow work journal. I usually find my own shadow work prompts. I've never had one that is already curated. I usually have a journal dedicated just for shadow work, and I find my own prompts. Already having one that takes care of all of that for me is going to be really, really helpful. It's also going to be new for me as well. So it's not just you who's on a new adventure. I just have no idea what the prompts are going to be like, so I will give you guys my full review, whether it's worth it. Should you just go ahead and buy a journal that is blank and find your own prompts? Or should you just go ahead and get the shadow work journal that already has the prompts for you? Or does it even really matter? Let's go get this Walmart journal and see what she has to offer. I got what I needed. Now I'm just kind of like wandering. Let me show y'all the fit. So the lights just flicker in Walmart. So all their registers are down. That's what I get for lingering. I should have just took my ass home. There's only one register working, but I got a flower. We made it out alive. Y'all, what the fuck? Alright. I have to be ready to face the rain. Hair goes up. Period. This is funny as fuck, bro. Fuck. Okay. This is the funniest thing I've ever done in my life. It's not even that bad. Oh my god. What the hell? All these electronics on me. Wow. Okay. I have to drive back home in this? I'm literally soaking wet. At that last second, it just started raining so hard. Okay. I still got this back on me. I got a rose though. Look, y'all. It's for Mother's Day, but I think the dude did it because he thought I was cute. So thanks. We're gonna take the bag off now. Whew. Okay. Ha! That's why I love curly hair. Okay, I'm just trying to get my loins together. Oh, you're so wet, my friend. Who pissed off Mother Nature? Do y'all think I could get home safely in this? I mean, we have no choice. I'm not about to sit here in the parking lot of Walmart. This is huge. This is a really big storm. I'll see you guys at home.
with them other guys. Where you? Order up to do that you and me with. I drop on my knees for you.
Hold up this call.
Be the girl to lose this one. When I've got to lose her, I won't be the girl to lose. I will be the girl to lose this one.
Are you gonna let me go? No? Okay. Anyone? Okay. No. After this one. For sure.
I said, okay, loser. Put the girl in they motherfucking top teeth. That's cause my eye always watch. I loser. The funny bitches always coming out the wooer. Bitch, ain't nothing I did to her. Grow the fuck up, back your age, you immature. Maybe one day you'll be great and go on tour. Like me, hey.
Do y'all hear this rain? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Maybe I need some rehab. I'm saying that all night, hoping hit my head against the wall. My steez is gonna be affected if I keep it up like a lovesick crackhead. I got a question. Do you wanna have a summer party in my basement? Is my love your drug? Because
This is currently our, what we have going on.
Moments later.
What was that? What was that? Seriously, what was that? I'm not tripping, right? Like, y'all know what y'all know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm pissed off about? Do you understand? Seriously, what was that? What was y'all saw? That is insane. You guys saw everything that I just went through. Now it looks like that. The universe is funny. Because what? Well, we made it home. I guess we're just gonna continue our day. I'm going to get comfy. Let's do some shadow work. But before we get into the nitty gritty, I'm going to show you guys what I got. 2026, 2027 calendar. It's like a planning calendar. I'm going to actually leave this in front of my vanity mirror. I'm gonna fill this bitch out. We are going to get productive. I have a cute mug with all these pens and pencils and shit. So these are gonna be, boom. It's literally always gonna be open. There is literally no reason why the planner should be closed because there's always something that I'm going to be referring to from the planner that helps me organize a little bit better. Shadow work journal. This is her in all her glory. She's so beautiful. It's called Shadow Growth Journal, workbook for embracing and elevating beyond your shadows. Okay. And there's a good bit of stuff going on in here. I'm going to flip to a random page. Let's just see what we're working with. I'm nosy. I like to see. Reflect on masks you wear in different areas of your life. At home, with family, among friends, etc., etc. That's interesting. In the midst of darkness, light persists. Mahatma Gandhi. It's really interesting that this pops up. We were talking about mirror work earlier. This actually gives you a solid little deep dive on mirror work exercises and the benefits of mirror work and affirmations to say in front of the mirror. I fuck with that. Cute. It's a gratitude map. You just fill them out. I am not mad at that. This actually makes shadow work not feel so dark. Let me show you guys my shadow work journal. This right here is one of my shadow work journals. This one is years old. Okay, so this dates back to 2020. Woo! It's all the way back to September 2020. Almost 6 years ago. Ooh, I would scroll through Pinterest and I would literally close my eyes and scroll, click whatever my eyes landed on. That's what I would do. The thing about doing it in that way is that sometimes you'll get triggered by the question And that is how you know that you should answer it. Because if you're triggered by it so much so that you're like, I'm not answering that. Why not? And that is shadow work. Also a form of therapy. I believe in therapy. I would like to experience therapy in this life. However, I don't go to therapy. So a couple of prompts that I used myself, September 27th, 2020 at 11:18 p.m. shadow work prompt, write the words you need to hear. September 28th, 2020 at 3:28 p.m. earliest memory with negative emotion. How would those emotions play out in the present? That's so funny. It's so funny that I said what I just did, because the very first line in this entry is me recounting a memory. And after I recounted the memory, I said, but a part of me wants to reject it. For that very reason, I choose that memory. For me, I get down to the bottom of some shit. I really do. I think I owe it to myself. I think I owe it to other people. I'm not this saint. I'm not someone who's done everything right with every step that she's made in this life. You have to learn how to forgive yourself, and you have to learn how to forgive others, and then let it go. Another shadow work prompt: when I think about my future, I am most afraid of fill in the blank. Which conversation topics make you confrontational or aggressive? Why do you think you feel this way? What do you compare the most about yourself with others? Do you project those jealousies or resentments onto others? Girl, not everyone is able to get down like this. I'm just saying. Not everyone is able to answer these questions about themselves. Everyone thinks that they just are so pristine and just so, I would never, or I have never, and that people are just so convinced that they're just not that guy. Meanwhile, they're the first person in line to be that guy. You know? How do you react to someone exercising self-care when it inconveniences you? That one's niche. What do you need to forgive yourself for? Why have you struggled to forgive yourself for this thing? Do you automatically blame negative energy on those around you? How often do you own your own negative projected energy? So let's get into it, because I'm actually excited.
Down to the wire, babe. Even when you are down, you can do it better, say one thing. This love is a show.
Bet that never gotta slow down. Bet that never gotta slow down. Bet that never gotta slow down. Bet that never gotta slow down.
Okay, y'all. Here's the tease so far on this pretty little shadow work journal. There are 8 different chapters, essentially, and every chapter, of course, hits a different topic. I just finished chapter 1, which is understanding exactly what shadow work is. They provide different quotes, and you essentially have to write down your own reactions to the quote. How does it resonate with you? And because I'm such an open book, I'll share some of them with you. One of the quotes they use is, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. Essentially what I said is that everyone carries their darkness differently. Everyone copes through their darkness differently. Everyone ignores their darkness differently. Everyone's darkness and weaknesses and shortcomings and vices and toxicity come in so many different shapes and sizes. There is bound to be a point that someone is actually going to teach you a new way of being a shitty person, or show you a new way of manipulating. So just because you know your own darkness doesn't mean that you will know exactly what other people are capable of every time. However, it's best to be prepared. Knowing your own darkness can make other people's darkness more comprehensible. That doesn't mean you're fluent in everyone's version of their own shit. Now, having an understanding of your own darkness and how that could potentially be reflected in other people as well is helpful. You know what you're looking at. You know when it's time to throw in the towel, pack up your shit and go. We are merely students in this universe. Did you catch that? Always something to learn. There's always something else to discover, something new to experience. I am able to meet people in a different place than what I was capable of before, I really started to understand my shadow attribute. I really started to learn these things about myself. It was difficult to meet people where they're at, let alone in the middle. It was hard when I wasn't doing the inner work. Now that I have this greater awareness and greater understanding of this aspect of myself, it's easier to catch when someone else is moving from a certain kind of energy. You know, it's easier to peep stuff. It's easier to understand where someone's coming from. I know what it looks like when someone is struggling silently. I know what a deep suppressed sadness looks like. I know that because I've lived that. I have looked in the mirror and I've seen those things. So when I experience others and I see that, I know what I'm looking at. I'm not saying I know exactly the story behind it, exactly what to do to make it better, so on and so forth. I just know that there is something I recognize. I wouldn't be able to see that if I didn't see it in myself first. So your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. I think Mr. Carl Jung, I hope I'm saying that right, is essentially saying that you are exactly who you desire to be. Whatever it is that you desire in this life, whoever it is that you desire to be, you're already that. The things that we yearn to have in this life, the people that we want to be so badly, it's already ours. It isn't something that's separate from us. The further outside of us we look for the things that we want to attract, the further we are from the answers, because the answer resides literally exactly where we stand. It resides within us. We're the answers. I think there's a lot of freedom in the awareness and the knowing and the embracing. You don't have to dream or fantasize. You can literally just be. I don't mean like body that version of yourself, da 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 da, that already has it. That's not what I mean. I mean, just be who the fuck you are. Live in your truth. Live in your shit. Validate yourself, because you're valid. You're valid in being who you are. You're valid in believing in yourself the way that you do. You're valid in feeling the things that you feel. You're valid in seeing the things that you see for yourself. The only thing that isn't valid is the fact that you're looking for someone to give you permission. You're looking for someone outside of you to tell you ready, set, go. You're looking for someone else outside of you to validate something that, are they even meant to get it? You don't have to dream it when you can literally just be. Some people hear that and they're like, oh, well, you make it sound so easy. I never said it was easy. It's a choice. Not all choices are easy to make. You could be literally sobbing in the middle of making the most aligned, correct choice for yourself. Tears. I never said it was gonna feel good the whole time. I'm just saying it's not outside of you. Like, it really be in us, y'all. It really do. So I actually forgot to film an outro. This is what you get. Honestly, if you made it this far into the video, thanks for being here. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you again. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I love you so much. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Peace!
There's a universe inside of you. Can I?